In this video, we will explore an overview of the PC-BSD 9 Isotope Edition installation process, highlighting the new installer and the new features of the operating system itself. The beginning of the installation process is much like any other operating system. You'll need either a blank hard drive or blank partition that you intend to use for your installation location, and bootable installation media. Currently, PC-BSD supports DVDs and USB flash drives. Once in the installer, a network install option is also available. The system will boot to the loader, at which point you'll want to select the default option to install. The loader will verify the cache and then proceed to the installer prompt. Most of the installer is very straightforward, but I'll provide a brief overview of each section. First, the installer wants to know your language and local time zone. A checkbox is provided to enable network time protocol synchronization and keep your system clock up to date. Next are the keyboard layout options. PC-BSD supports a wide range of international keyboard layouts and even specific variants of the overall layout. For instance, the US keyboard layout supports Mac keyboards, Dvorak, and various other specialized versions and deviations of the 104 keyboard layout. One of the features of the PC-BSD installer is its ability to install the desktop version of PC-BSD or install the vanilla version of FreeBSD, which may be a better option for installation on servers and other non-desktop devices. If you've booted from a DVD or USB stick, that's likely going to be your installation source. You may also choose Network to install from a package repository on your network. Choose the disk to install onto. If you don't need to install another operating system or have need for a separate data partition, it's fine to use the entire disk for installation. PC-BSD can install either on a UFS or ZFS file system. ZFS includes a host of enterprise-grade features, but also carries with it a much heavier footprint than UFS, and is significantly more resource-intensive. You'll need at least 4 GB of memory and a 64-bit CPU if you intend to use ZFS. UFS is the more common option for a normal desktop installation. There is also an option to encrypt the user partition, which will safeguard your personal data but does not encrypt the entire drive. If your disk drive is over 2 TB and your motherboard supports EFI booting, it can be a good idea to check the GPT option. For drives smaller in capacity, it's generally preferable to leave this box unchecked and allow the partitioning scheme to use MBR instead. The next section is intended to set up the root password and users. Users can also be managed from inside the operating system. Choose the packages that you want to include in your installation. One of the great strengths of the new PC-BSD installer is the improved package management system. I don't need any special localization options, so I leave this unchecked. 9 now has support for more desktop window managers and fine control over which parts are installed. I want both GNOME and KDE, but don't want any games in GNOME. To save space, I might also turn off KDE's localization, games, and toys. All of this is totally subjective, but serves to illustrate the type of fine-grained control built into the new installer. Next, you can select to install sources and ports from the library while performing the installation, which can streamline the installation process somewhat. Once installed, it's also possible to install the same sources and ports as you normally would. Finally, PC-SysInstaller shows a summary of your selected options, partitions, and other feedback on your configuration. Give it a once-over, and then proceed with the installation. The installation can take quite a long time or be very quick depending on how many options and packages you've selected. Since I selected 2 window managers, for example, it's going to take a little bit longer than a pure KDE install would have. I'm going to skip ahead to my installed system and demonstrate PC-BSD 9's new features in action. PC-BSD 9's window managers can now be switched from the login screen. For the time being, I'm going to log in with KDE and demonstrate the new features of the operating system. Later on, I'll log out and switch to GNOME and demonstrate this capability. A core component of the new operating system is App Cafe, a revised management tool for PC-BSD's push-button installer system. Applications are categorized by their function and easily downloaded, installed, updated, and removed, all from App Cafe. Rather than making every application a part of the base system, PBIs are self-contained, including their own dependent library tree and related data. As a result, when you install a PBI, there are no dependency issues to resolve, and applications can be added or removed freely without breaking the window manager or any other installed software. The PC-BSD control panel centralizes system management and now supports management tools for all installed window managers, regardless of which one is active. If a user is in KDE, he or she can change settings specific to LXDE before ever even booting into it. Similarly, the PC-BSD control panel provides a jumping-off point for many other core applications and services. The control panel also internalizes many of the configuration options for other system components, such as Adobe Flash Player, video drivers, and networking. The PC-BSD control panel exists separate to the system settings for the window manager, which retain their own configuration options, as seen here with KDE. Isotope also brings a revised system manager, offering a comprehensive overview of the underpinnings of a specific install, as well as system-specific hardware information. The Mirrors tab allows the user to select a mirror from which to pull system packages, as well as the source tree and ports information. The mirror is selected either from the drop-down list or from the custom source specified by the user. Possibly the most interesting feature in System Manager is the option to install system packages on top of an already installed system. If a user wants to install another window manager, it's now as easy as opening System Manager and then selecting to install the window manager from the list. This list is the same as the one in the installation options, but allows you to add or remove the components to your current installation without making any other changes. It's possible to use either the disk or your selected mirror as your source. For developers, the System Configuration window provides a shortcut to fetch the ports tree, both for the built-in ports jail as well as the FreeBSD system ports tree. The Update Manager is also heavily revised for PC-BSD 9. While it usually has a transparent operation, when the system updates are available, the icon will change color, at which point the user can open the window and review the updates that are available for installation. Once logged out, you'll see that there is a drop-down menu that allows selection of window managers. If I select GNOME and log back in, I'm now in a different window manager, though all my preferences, files, and other data remains where it is. Thank you for watching our video on PC-BSD 9 Isotope. We hope this has provided a comprehensive overview of Isotope's new features and given you the tools you need to get up and running with PC-BSD.